And for me, the real kick, of course, is Cool Goddess comes out of that. I was very measured when it came to what songs followed what songs. So having Cool Goddess kind of rush right out of that had a better impact to me than Cool Goddess starting the album, you know? So that was probably the initial idea was dun 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 dun, you know. But I thought, let's add this and just, all of that stuff was kind of measured. They were all kind of like carefully orchestrated. I remember that pretty well. I was really sick. I often got like these flus that were pretty bad. And I remember I was at my mom's house and she had a piano. And I don't know if I wrote several songs at the time, but I was like in this foggy state. And I was just like, dun, 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 and I think I wrote it right there. But I mean, honestly, it's just D to G the whole time. But a lot of the songs kind of get their value from just being so simplistic, in my opinion. But that one I just wrote, but with the melody being there for Let the Cool Goddess Rest Away, but the lyrics not yet, which is often how I write. But the lyrics, especially the title came from, those magnets that you put words together, or put sentences together, phrases. Magnetic poetry. Yeah, that's it. I think it might have been at my dad's house or my mom. I can't remember, but I was looking at these and I put all that together, having to do with an X. And I thought that's an interesting phrase. I'll use that. So it was from a magnet thing, If I had an iPhone then I probably would have taken a picture, but I didn't. You're going to have to believe me. Let the cool Yeah, and the backup vocals, I found a new face. All of this stuff, I was just like, there are these little like Easter eggs, I think. To me, when I was a kid, I used to listen to a lot of like oldies, like 50s and 60s, and I always used to sing the backup vocals. That was just interesting to me. But I thought for every song, there was like a little treat in there. Every like big single, like there was a subtle shift or like an introduction of a new color or something like that kind of made it more worthwhile. David Bowie did this really well, I thought. Like a lot of his backing vocals, a lot of little elements that just kind of like popped in that, you didn't expect, but worked, So I tried to add these little things, like even the ding, 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 ding on Let the Cool Goddess Rest Away against the other piano. I think I took that from borrowed, whatever. But that was inspired by, I think it's Seven Chinese Brothers, REM's song, where they just have this hanging ding, ding, ding to like introduce Michael Stipe's vocal, So stuff like that, I just kind of like plopped in a little bit. It wasn't stealing. That was me trying to consider my electric guitar percussive in the way David Byrne kind of did it and that sort of thing, but even more so. Like for me, I remember this because I did it at Machines with Magnets. And I was like, just let me do this several times in the studio. I'm just going to like kind of go crazy and just like do this kind of weird percussion. And I think I did two guitars, one over the other. And every so often there was a little stab, like, you know. And then when it came to the chorus, Let the Cool Goddess Rest Away, it started kind of descending. But that was all just like this weird improvised thing. I tried to have a little manic energy on that to accompany. And another thing that I wanted to do for that was sync the drums. Like it's a lot of toms, but the kick is present. But I wanted the toms, I wanted everything to be a little lower. Like another inspiration I think was like early Rolling Stones recordings. And what I liked about that was that the drums were present, but they weren't like a featured element. And I was like, I want the tambourine above, things like this that made it a little bit like disjointed that people wouldn't expect. So I was pretty, particular about that. Sean hits hard, and he hits really hard. And if it would have been a totally different song if we brought it up to a level that's a little more popular these days, I guess. That I always had a problem. I worked with a lot of engineers, and they always wanted to make the drums a little bit more of a featured element than I was ever comfortable with. But yeah, that was one thing. Nobody was telling me what to do or giving me solid advice exactly back then. It was just kind of like you're on your own, which is cool.